What does the competition all mean for 2023? Let's ask Mark Douglas, the founder and CEO of ad tech firm Mountain, and CNBC's very own Julia Boorstin. Welcome to both of you. Mark, I'll start with you. I haven't gotten to check in with you since we've had these juicy predictions about Netflix possibly being merged with another company or taken over, and the drama with Warner Brothers Discovery. What are your big, bold predictions?
Well, I think the whole ad industry is obviously in a lot of turmoil. The biggest thing that's occurring is with all this new content coming into the market from Netflix, from Disney Plus, that's going to cause a price war. And so you're going to start to see prices for ad inventory come down. They're already coming down in Q1, and that's going to last for a bit of time. And so 2023 is going to start out a bit rocky, but I also think you're going to start to see the way to combat a price war. If there's more supply than demand, you got to get more demand into the market. And that's going to come from direct response advertisers, which ironically, in a lot of cases, are spending less with Meta, less with Google. And so there's a lot of change in this market. That's the biggest prediction, and especially for the television market, they're going to see a lot of turmoil in the first half of the year.
Julia, is it all just a consequence of companies cutting back on their budgets, or does it reflect a change in power of where the eyeballs are?
I would say there's definitely a notable change in power. There's so many different factors at play right now and so many transformations over the past year. One fact that I would point out that I think is really important to note is the fact that this is the first time that Google and Meta have not had over 50% of digital ad market share since 2014. Wow. This is according to insider intelligence. So we've talked a lot about the digital duopoly in recent years, but the reality is that digital duopoly is losing ground to the likes of Amazon, to the likes of Apple. And I think it's really going to be interesting to see what happens in this Apple versus Meta battle, because we really have seen Meta and other of these players really curtailed in their ability to target ads. Luckily for them, they're going to be coming up against some better comparisons when it comes to dealing with those issues. But I think look for what we call the rise of the rest, the other players,
sure,
as Meta and Google face more challengers.
Got to get Steve Case to front that. Mark, so Julia mentions Amazon. How big of a player are they becoming? Apple as well, when we start looking further into 2023?
Well, I think in the case of Amazon, they're essentially selling their search results, which used to be free. You used to go to Amazon, search for the products you were interested in, and you got the results. And then Amazon figured out they could start monetizing those search results when you search for products. And so their ad business is very unique in that they just took an asset they had and they started essentially taxing their sellers on Amazon in order to get the best search results. So that's very unique. I think in the case of Apple, one thing that's really interesting, actually pivoting a little from Apple to Meta, is there's a number of people that think the metaverse is as much a play for Facebook or Meta to get off of Apple's platform. In other words, if you create something beyond the iPhone, then you're not subjected to, Apple's whims in terms of their technology and what you're allowed to do and things like that. So, Facebook, Meta, I should say, is playing a very long game in terms of the metaverse to essentially get beyond Apple in the future.
Sure.
I think in terms of Apple's business, there's rumors they're going to enter the TV market. That's more supply. It's going to put more downward pressure on prices. But honestly, I don't see them having the heart for it. They just have never really, truly been an advertiser.